Let's get ready to rumble!
The gloves are coming off.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable!
We're about to go full court press.
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan!
It's time to play ball.
Malone looking for his first hit of the year. He drives one! Deep left field! That goes Upton! Back near the wall! It's out of here! Bartolo has done it! The impossible has happened!
Listen in as we tackle everything in the world of sports right now.
Stay off the weed.
Throw your hat in the ring at 516-572-7440. This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Thursday edition of WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Thursday edition, as I said before, I am your host, Matt Leonard, with me, Mauricio Mendoza. How you doing?
Good, man. A.K.A. El Guapo. I'm making that as my new nickname, okay?
Okay. I hope that's radio friendly in English.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It means good looking.
Okay.
Good looking man.
Okay.
He trying to build himself a brand.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry. It's
Kory David, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, except I wish the weather was better.
Yeah. Joshua Umahi, welcome to the Thursday edition, my friend.
Yes, it's been a long time.
Your mic's not on. What's going on?
Is it really
Again? Happened this morning. Okay. Just move over to the floor, Josh. If you don't mind. Everybody slide down.
You hear me, right?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, good.
All right, so big news today out of the mayor's office. We don't normally talk politics here, and we're not going to, but the mayor made an announcement yesterday, and let's just say it affects our New York teams, in all of them, in very, very big ways. Not so much the Knicks, they're all fully vaccinated, but Kyrie Irving especially, he's going to be the poster child of this whole movement. And that is because the mayor announced yesterday unvaccinated athletes and performers in New York City are allowed to go to work and do what they do without getting the shot. So this means Kyrie Irving is back for the Nets full time, unless, of course, they end up in the play-in in Canada and he can't play there, which is, whatever. But still, how do we feel about this whole vaccine mandate getting dropped? Kyrie Irving's back. Well, half the Yankees and half the Mets can play now. That's good. Kory?
I think it's more per se for. I think it's for the baseball community. I think it was more of the Nets. I mean, more of the Yankees and the Mets. I don't think it was more of Kyrie's situation, because I think it was up to Eric Adams, I think Kyrie would still not be able to play. If baseball season was not coming in right now, Kyrie still wouldn't be able to play. But due to the fact that this being a Yankees and Mets town, more predominantly than it has been basketball, you kind of rule in that favor. But now that Kyrie is back to playing full time, I think this increases Brooklyn's chances tremendously. A lot of teams are taking advantage of the fact that Kyrie wasn't able to play home and away games. So you would expect a couple losses home. But now that you get two guys who can go off whenever, it kind of evens the odds. It's kind of like you got backup. Now, what would be really good if they had a Ben Simmons who can play, but
they do have one, but he can't play.
I mean, he can play, but
yeah, that's true.
I don't know how to describe what his injury is. It's mental. It's not more physical.
Yeah, he has like a mental injury, like
Maybe because
he has a back.
He's got a brain cramp.
He has a back injury. Let's not do that.
He's got a brain cramp.
What does he have a back injury from? I would have thought Joel Embiid had a back injury from carrying the 76ers.
It's weird.
Ben Simmons' back injury is from the weight of carrying all his BS around all season.
Probably, yeah.
It's weird because the timing when that injury was reported, it came out right around the time he was supposed to return to Philly.
Yep.
With the big Harden, Embiid versus KD, Kyrie, and it was supposed to be Ben, and then it was reported by, I think it was Shams.
How is it that Zion, who has a broken foot, who might have a chance of coming back sooner than Ben Simmons?
I mean,
that's crazy.
It's curious. That's why I thought it was like a bunch of BS. But apparently it is real. He had to get an epidural, whatever that is.
Oh, that's like a needle in your spine.
Yeah, I heard a lot like a pregnant woman get it.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yes, an epidural. Look it up.
That's the needle for pain relief in your spine.
Yeah, so that's why I was like,
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it's a spinal injection. That's tough stuff, man. If he's faking it and he's getting a spinal injection, he's not faking it. That's real. That is real.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because this news and Kyrie going to be able to play home games. It puts everything on the shoulders or on the back of Ben Simmons because he's the whole key. I mean, you're going to win a few playoff series possibly with KD and Kyrie. I think they're the most skilled duo maybe in NBA history. It's
not NBA history.
History, I don't know.
One of them.
But like maybe right now we could say
We've seen like Magic and Kareem. I wouldn't say history.
Magic and Kareem, Shaq and Kobe, Jordan and Pippen.
You're saying skilled though.
Skill for skill.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about best. I got to think about that, but I can see the argument.
Yeah.
Both guys could go out.
Not greatest, but most skilled. I can see that.
Yeah, so
Because like both guys on any given night could give you 60.
yeah, literally.
yeah, at least.
They're so potent, so they're going to be dangerous in the postseason. But all this talk about the Nets suddenly being contenders because Kyrie's back, I don't know.
That's one of the questions I have because when you think about it, the way how they are right now, with all the vaccine mandates, and to be honest, even though it's tough for them being on the 8th seed, with the teams they played up against, like the Bucks, the Sixers, even the Celtics, even if they beat Toronto, they have one of those teams which are fighting for second place.
And by the way, if it stays the way it is now, the standings, and then the Raptors are the 7 and the Nets are the 8, they're not going to have Kyrie still for that first playing game. So it's still an issue.
Well, yeah, but obviously KD will have to be at his best in the game.
Right.
Possibly maybe carrying the team. But like when I'm thinking about this, and I kind of see this in another point, and as an example, do we see them like pushing it and actually making it to at least the NBA Finals? And just hear me out. When I compare them, I kind of compare them a little bit to the Knicks in '99 when they were at the 8th seed and they had to go up against the Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller and at the top of the seed Miami Heat with Alonzo Mourning. Do we see that a little bit for the Nets? Because when you think of those versions, obviously you know that the Brooklyn Nets is much more better than the 1999, the 99 Knicks.
I mean, it could happen, and I think that's actually a pretty good comparison, but I don't know. Like, right now, say they get out of the play-in, they'd be slated to play the Heat, who have their own issues going on right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say, right now, I thought that the Heat were a good, formidable team, but I just see the rifts and the cracks in it, and I'm like,
And their coach is throwing clipboards to Jimmy Butler.
And you got Udonis Adams talking about, I'll beat your what?
That's that Heat culture, baby. That's that Heat culture.
I like this. I mean, you got Udonis has been so, like he's so old that he's gonna ride with his coach no matter what.
Why is he still there? I don't understand that.
It's like the Knicks keeping Taj Gibson around, but we're actually playing Taj Gibson.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been there his whole career. It was a little better for them.
Taj Gibson hit a couple of big shots last night.
Yeah, you're right. Let me not hate on Taj.
Udonis Haslem is literally just the old dude on a bench like, hey, this is what you got to do next time you get in.
He's basically an assistant coach who gets paid like a player still.
Yep,
yeah, but that's actually happened before. There's been incidents where I've heard of stories where guys who are good still are not doing anything on the court, just there for like emotional and like coaching support, basically. So his career is done, but he's just the old dude on the bench.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction. Just looking at the standings, I mean, it's obviously subject to change considering how like bunched up the East is right now. I mean, we have 3 teams tied for the 2nd seed. But if the Nets don't have a healthy Ben Simmons, they're not going to win a playoff series. Even with KD and Kyrie.
Wow.
That's where I'm at.
So will they get past the play-in, though?
They'll get past the play-in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, it depends if you don't have Kyrie for that first play-in game.
Well, I mean, they're lucky that they're in the first one, not the second one with this situation.
Yeah, if you're in the...
You can win the next one.
Absolutely.
Then you play the Heat, though.
Yeah.
I want to see them play the Sixers because they killed them in that game without Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but like when I think about like if they do make it, and let's just say they have to go against the Bucks, I'd really see them becoming. I don't see them getting blown out by the Bucks because when you look at last year, it was all the way, and the only difference is KD had to carry the whole team compared to before that in the 2 games when it was just KD and Kyrie. They dismantled the Bucks. They basically became the bigger dogs. They made the Bucks look like little boys in that game.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and I'm gonna counter your bold prediction, saying they're not going to get it. I believe they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I thought you were going to the NBA Finals, and I was about to yell. No, we're good.
I'm not
It could
crazy.
happen. That was just in my just thinking about it a little bit.
I get what you're saying. It's a possibility with Kyrie back full time now. I mean, we're all thinking all these crazy thoughts because they're going to have Kyrie for every single game as long as they don't play the Raptors at home. So,
But in reality, it's one of the toughest positions for the Nets to be in right now.
Definitely.
Because it's not just, you're not going to play against the Cavs or maybe the Bulls. You got these 4 teams that, in a way, I haven't really seen them that much with the Heat, but I know that they do have much more experience in playing against the Sixers, the Bucks, and the Celtics because they kind of know their opponents a little bit more well, you know?
You know, Mauricio, to that point, everybody's saying, basically after yesterday's announcement, Kyrie won. Kyrie won out of this whole situation and the vaccine mandate.
They call him the Vax Lord.
But yeah, I'm like, did he really win though? Because look where the Nets are. If you had Kyrie Irving get the shot and he plays the whole season, they're probably, not even probably, they're a top 4 seed right now.
you want something crazy?
Yeah.
I just looked up, I'm curious, I went into FanDuel and I looked up the odds on the Brooklyn Nets to win the title. They have the second best odds in the NBA versus the Phoenix Suns.
That's unbelievable to me.
What?
That's
That is
crazy.
unbelievable to me.
Even over the Grizzlies?
The Grizzlies are I think, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're 10th.
They're 10th.
What?
Grizzlies are 10th.
But from
The Jazz are above the Grizzlies by a lot.
Wait, what?
yeah, the Grizzlies, they got to show the Grizzlies more love now.
They literally just beat the Nets without John Morant yesterday.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that whole the Grizzlies beating teams without John Morant, it just ruined his MVP case.
You know what? It might have in a lot of people's eyes.
I think they're 13-2 without him.
15-2.
15-2.
Wow.
Yeah, you had to be the most valuable player to actually get that award, and at this point, it's looking like you're not even the most valuable.
People don't listen to me when I say LeBron.
Huh?
But people don't listen to me when I say LeBron. When he doesn't play, the Lakers are just a circus.
No, when LeBron don't play for any of his teams, they look like there should be the number 1 team to pick in a draft.
Yeah, and that's the Lakers this year without LeBron. I don't think he should win.
Did you ever see? I seen a quote that just came out about that with Larry Bird, because he's the owner or something in the Indiana Pacers. I think he owned operation manager.
Yeah, something like that.
They said, why don't you ever trade for any of LeBron's teammates? He says, because if you look, he said, son, those guys aren't as good as they look.
He makes them look good.
Yeah.
You know what? On the John Morant thing, in the way that most people think about the NBA, it's obviously going to hurt his MVP case, but I don't think that he should be penalized for the Grizzlies building a good team around him. You know what I mean?
Because I feel like it's the team that's more important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have
But
built
why is
such
that?
Because
It's a player award. It's not best team award.
yeah, but in reality, it doesn't even matter. Because let's just say he doesn't win it, right?
Yeah.
He still has the final. What if they make it to the finals?
They won't.
Yeah.
They won't.
That's
the team award.
But just imagine.
That's the team award.
But the MVP, you actually got to be valuable.
Yes, he's very valuable. Don't get me wrong.
He's
But
valuable.
he's not the most valuable.
He's not the most valuable.
This is where people lose me. Why does the fact that the fact that the Grizzlies front office built a great team around him, and he's being penalized for that because his team wins without him?
Yeah.
Why is he getting penalized for that? He's obviously a great player when he's out there.
He's a great player. But if your value doesn't dictate that, okay, we desperately needed you or anything like that, it just shows you're not as valuable as you thought. LeBron, valuable. Devin Booker, valuable.
And he needs more love this season too.
So he has to be in a weak team like the Magic to prove himself to be.
No. You guys should have to be able to win.
But this is the Steph Curry, James Harden 2015 argument all over again. This is what this is. Because Steph Curry, his front office was smart. They built a great team around him.
They were historic that year.
But they're going to tell me, because Harden's team is worse without him. They're built worse. That Steph is not the MVP. It's Harden. Then you're taking it away from the player, and you're blaming the front office. It doesn't make any sense.
I just felt as though he could probably get he could get most improved. Like he's having a most improved.
Oh, he'll win most improved.
That
That's
I
a
will
lot.
agree with.
That's a lot.
That's the cop out. That's the cop out award. Like so, look, if we can't give you the MVP, we'll give you some type of award. Now that's why many people were saying that they need to come up with an Offensive Player of the Year award or something like that. Like when James Harden was losing all those MVPs, they were thinking about actually coming up with an Offensive Player award so you can have some type of cop out to give him.
Why?
I mean, defensive,
You gotta give
I
him
understand.
Look, when you have a historical season like Harden was having, you got to give him something. When you see Ja Morant coming out and averaging, what is he averaging, 27, 28?
He cannot be offensive player. If they had that word, it's not him.
Who would it be?
I think there are guys, let's see.
But
Giannis is a better this year offensively than Ja.
but at
Jokic is way better offensively
Yeah,
than
Jokic
Ja.
has to be
at this moment, I think it's
Are we talking just scoring? Or are we talking assists too? Because assists are offensive.
yeah, you can put a system.
And Jokic is miles ahead of Ja
Yeah,
offensively.
this has to be one of his best seasons right now. Nikola Jokic.
I think Ja's averaging seven assists, something like
Jokic
that.
is averaging like 9.
I know, but I think right now the MVP award is tied between Jokic and Embiid.
Agreed.
The big man is back.
They're gonna. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in, we referenced 2015 already, but the whole Steph Curry revolution? Oh, we're gonna shoot threes. Big men are extinct.
doing that.
Yeah, now big men are doing that, but now Embiid and Jokic and Giannis, they're saying I'm gonna still live in the paint now too.
Whoa, you gotta add a new name to that list. My boy Karl Anthony Towns. He's bullying people. I guess he got some of that courage that Jimmy Butler said he needed, and he's finally coming back to earth. He won the 3-point competition.
Mm-hmm.
He's arguably one of the best big man shooters in history. So I think that he's in that category of the new age center that's kind of bringing dominance back. That you can either do it inside the post, outside the post. But the fact that the Nets lost last night and my New York Knicks won, I can't complain about today.
I was kind of shocked that they won the Knicks one. I mean, I love the Knicks, but literally, I didn't even think. I just thought, the usual: have a great lead, give it up, and choke hard.
I have so many thoughts about that game.
We're going to get to the Knicks, don't worry.
Just to wrap up or make another point on this Kyrie stuff. Do you guys know how good Kyrie Irving has been since he got to Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Especially this season. I mean, the fact that he misses a lot of games, that's why he doesn't get a lot of MVP love. But this season, guys, 29 points per game on 50% shooting.
When he plays, though.
When he plays. But as a 6'2 guard,
Yeah.
29, 5, and 6. That's what he's giving you.
A lot of people not putting a lot of flack into him being 6'2". Even Kevin Durant said he like 5'11".
That's even more impressive.
But
that skill in that shot.
Kevin Durant can't talk about lying about your height. Like
That's a fact.
Kevin Durant's 7 feet tall. No one, don't tell me otherwise.
The thing about Kyrie is not even just this year about him missing time. It's the last year when he was taking those mental breaks, and then he said, "Oh, I'm taking a mental break," and then you catch him at a birthday party. It just was like it kind of felt James Harden-ish.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is Kyrie talking to Ben Simmons like, hey, you don't really have to play. Like, it's all a scam. They're trying to make you play. Don't listen.
They all got they're all head cases.
We don't need
over
it. We don't need we don't need a head coach. You remember you said that?
Yeah. How do you have to feel if you're Steve Nash if you get hired immediately after they said
I
that?
forget he's the coach all the time.
Me too,
same
literally.
Here. Same here.
Like, he's one of the best point guards of all time. I forget he's their coach all the time.
It's crazy. It's ridiculous. My mom's calling me like, Mom, you know where I'm at. What are you doing?
Tell her to call the phone number, 516-572-7440.
Hey, I like that, man.
Mrs. Umahi, call in.
Yes, please.
What?
I was just saying.
Go on. You can just talk, Kory.
I was trying to make reference to the transition.
What, the Knicks?
I thought we was transitioning.
We are.
It was just that awkward phase.
All right, fine. We'll do it the right way. You're listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. It's Matt, Mauricio, Kory, and Josh here with you today, talking about the NBA landscape. We're going to move over to the Knicks right now because the Knicks are just great without Randall, and I'm loving it.
Go, New York, go, New York, go.
Do we have that in the vault?
I'm going to look right now.
I hope we do.
What's that even called?
Soon as you said I'm loving that, all I thought was about McDonald's.
Bro, don't make me hungry now.
Yeah, I haven't even ate lunch, man. Come on.
The fact that I was watching that game last night and they were just panning into Randall's face at certain moments, he just looked like He just looked like a sad puppy. Like, yeah, y'all doing this really without me.
You know what? I'm glad. I'm glad he came to the game, the Hawks-Knicks game 2 days ago, and then he came to the game yesterday in Charlotte, because I hope he sees the difference in the team's energy, the effort, the pace that they play with. Like, it's night and day compared to when he's on the court.
I didn't think it was possible, but I think the New York media and New York fans bullied R.J. Barrett, and not bullied him, critiqued him into being a good player just on the fact that coming into the season there was a lot of criticism, like, can he be that guy? Can he be a solid number 2 or 3? And then I felt as though he stepped up and it's become his team. He's become a consistent 27, 25 point scorer a game. Last night he went head to head with LaMelo, and I believe he dropped 31, 32.
Yep.
All I know is he went over the over.
Don't matter to you.
But I just felt it was a good game, and everybody contributed in their own way. Obi Toppin was hitting threes.
Yep.
He was scoring inside, outside.
Great rebounding from him. He had 11 rebounds last night.
Emmanuel Quickly's floater was just unstoppable.
That's a rare sight anymore.
And then Evan Fournier couldn't miss for some reason, and he broke the single season 3-point record with 218. I was just like, y'all had a consistent game tonight. It was like, y'all lucky y'all played a team that has one of the worst defenses in the league, but nonetheless, you put in a great effort. Now Trae Young already ended our season as far as making it to a possible playing game situation.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it is possible, but the Hawks have to be in their worst position.
It's over, Mauricio. It's over.
Come on, guys.
It's done.
It's done.
You know what? But no, we're gonna stay positive.
Even I wanted the Jim Carrey moment. So you're saying there's a chance? But
we're gonna stay positive. We're gonna stay positive.
We are the New York
Yes.
Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks.
You know,
We
Matt,
are the New York Knicks.
this was my favorite Knicks game this entire season.
Really?
The entire season. You know why?
Even from the first game against the Celtics?
All season. Because, again, Randall was out. He had R.J. Barrett really step into the lead role. Look at everybody loving the song. But R.J. Barrett steps into the lead role, plays an efficient game, 10 of 19, 30 points. Obi Toppin, what a surprise. Obi Toppin plays 40 minutes and he produces.
Yeah,
You don't yank him out of the game for Taj Gibson, and he produces 18, 11, and 6.
I like Jericho Sims starting for Randall. I like that. I think Randall's just be sat out for the next 9 games. Honestly.
Look, all I seen when I looked at that court was the young agenda coming to fruition. The young player agenda.
Yes.
Younger what?
The play the kids agenda.
The young player
The young
agenda.
gender?
The young player agenda.
Our younger gender. I was like, what?
No, the young player agenda. As fact, is the Knicks getting younger, which I would hope happens. Now we've seen what can happen once you put. I mean, the fact that Taj Gibson was out there was just another. You take the good with the bad. Little Tibbs was like, I got to get one of my guys in. He's like, I got to get either.
He's like, they're paying me. I got to put him in somehow.
Yeah, but Jericho Sims. He looked like a mannequin, but he contributed on the court. I can't. And then you had Deuce McBride. I just felt as though everybody contributed. Great team win. I hope that we can keep building on it. Now, I think that with R.J. Barrett building more confidence and, he's seeing what he can accomplish in this league, I think he has a possibility of making he'd being a future All-Star one of these days.
Absolutely.
And he might put, if his career goes better, he might be able to say I was the second best player in that draft behind Ja.
R.J. Barrett is the New York Knicks. I mean, you look at what he's doing on the court, and you look at the players that shouted him out, too. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, LeBron James.
That's a big one.
Donovan Mitchell. Like, he's getting
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
He's getting that recognition, too. Like,
one thing I did notice in that game, though, which is something that I think a lot of people have been saying, and we've seen it, because early in the season, a lot of people say we should go through Randall and he should run the offense. But what I seen a lot last night was R.J. Barrett playing like this pseudo point guard role where he brought the ball up. He had the ball in his decision. He was making the decision making. So I just see that he's coming along as that player. And as who I can see him most comparable to, I can actually see him being compared to like a James Harden. As far as he can be.
That was the comp when he got drafted.
Huh?
Yeah. That was the comp when he got drafted.
Yeah, I can see, that Maple Mamba spirit. But whenever I see him, that's all I can think of.
Maple Mamba, yeah.
And I just feel as though he's coming into a role where he's like, okay, this is my team now. I can finally do what I need to do. He's actually a scoring problem. When I seen him last night, nobody could really stop him.
Nobody can stop him.
It was like he got whatever he wanted and put up an easy 30 on him.
You know, Matt, I've been on the show since November, and I've been very, very, very hard on the Knicks ever since then, the whole season.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take a little positive spin on this.
All right.
So, I mean, last night's one was very inspiring. I know it was a disappointing season from the fact that, we wanted to get a high seed, win a playoff series. It's not going to happen.
Get to the playoffs.
Get to the
Get the play-in.
It's not going to happen.
Something. You're not winning the lottery.
Whoever you want to blame, whether it's Leon Rose, Tibbs, Randall, I mean, regardless.
Everybody's got to go. Oh, Kemba Walker is we forgot about him because he's not playing. But that was a very low point in the season.
He was all right offensively, but defensively,
he had the one game.
He was just so whack.
I'm sorry. There was one thing I'm gonna hand it to Mauricio in 1 second. There was one thing I seen in the game that when they was talking about Kemba, it was almost like they was trying. The Knicks announcers would sound like Will Frazier was trying to just pawn him off to the Charlotte Hornets that entire game. Like, yeah, they need a point guard. Kemba would be perfect for them. It was like he's not doing anything here. I was like, you really doing this on live TV, man? That's crazy.
If you ask me, I think he's doing him a favor.
I mean, he is.
The Hornets could use him now.
Yeah.
Now, why would they need him though? They have LaMelo.
They have LaMelo. They have Isaiah Thomas backing them up now, though. Like, it's Kemba.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, Kemba's better than Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Let's
5'9" Isaiah Thomas.
If the Knicks want to get rid of Kemba and Charlotte need Kemba, I got the perfect trade. Kemba for LaMelo. It's easy. It works.
I mean,
how many draft picks the Knicks giving up? For how many years?
The thing with the Knicks, too, is like you have Quickly, Grimes, Cam Reddish is hurt, and I hate that because he would have hooped yesterday, too. The way the ball was moving. You have RJ, you have Obi Toppin.
Oh, no.
Fournier, I like as a bench piece. He's gotten a lot of slack this season, but he broke the threes record, so he hasn't had a terrible season.
We'll give him that for now.
So, I mean, think about the Knicks' great three-point shooters, and especially of this new generation. There aren't many.
There are not many.
So that's why it's not a hard record to break.
We haven't had a lot of good three-point shooting.
Who had the record before him?
John Starks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
J.R. Smith came close to breaking it.
That's right.
In 2014, but that's really it.
Yeah, no.
If you're looking at the Knicks' history, you don't have a lot of three-point shooting, and you don't have a lot of point guard play. Good point guard play.
Yeah, Walt Frazier, and that's it.
It's more like they go in instead of stepping back to make shots. It's more like tough play, a little bit more old school, which I kind of like. To me,
it doesn't work in today's NBA. Unfortunately,
unfortunately, especially defensively, because as much as I wish I could live through the Pistons days, man, I dream literally. I literally dream just to watch the Bad Boys.
I mean, to that point, Mauricio, I mean, we've always seemed a step slower or a step behind other teams in the league. I mean, in terms of our approach and how we're going to play. But with a good offseason, and I don't know how much you guys trust Leon Rose after the trade deadline and everything else, but you have a good young foundation. You still have to decide what you want to do with Mitchell Robinson. Are you going to re-sign him? Are you going to keep him? We don't know. It's up in the air.
Look, let's go get Chet. Let's go get. We might be up. We might be in a good stand and probably go get Chet. You think?
I don't even want Chet if we get the one pick.
Who do you want if we get the one pick?
I'll take Jabari Smith.
I want
from
Jabari
Auburn,
Smith.
or I'll take Jaden Ivey from Purdue.
I wouldn't take him one.
I wouldn't take him one. If we get a top 5 pick.
Top 3. You need top 3 for him.
I just like the fact that Chet gives you shot blocking and shot blocking and shot making. He reminds you. A lot of people say he reminds everybody of Kevin Durant.
He's not Kevin Durant.
I saw
Porzingis.
Porzingis.
He's more of Porzingis for me than Kevin Durant, to be honest.
I saw something earlier today where they were comparing Chet Holmgren to Kevin Durant in terms of their body build.
Okay, yeah, they're both just lanky 7-footers.
But yeah, that's about it though.
Yeah, that's the only comparison.
The funniest thing I seen was somebody said the New Orleans Pelicans need to draft Chet, and because he needs Zion and him need to do the opposite of everything that each other does.
Can we just take weight off Zion and put it on Chet Holmgren?
No. Yeah, look. They said Zion does inside scoring, Chet doesn't. Zion can't shoot, Chet can. Zion's skinny. I mean Zion's fat, Chet is skinny. I was just like, it's like everything that was opposite. I'm like, it lined up so perfectly.
You're just calling Zion out.
Speaking of Zion, I'm going to give you guys 2 names that you got to look out for in terms of trades. Now, hear me out here.
For the Knicks?
Right. Yeah, we're going to have Zion. Maybe, again, he has a qualifying offer that he can take from New Orleans. But if you look at what's going on there, the Pelicans have basically ruled him out to come back this season, but he's posting videos of doing East Bay dunks on Instagram. So.
The funniest thing about that was, did you see the floor on that video? It literally, it looked like it bounced.
No, don't. It's a rehab floor. I know where you were trying to go with that. Don't try to. Enough fat shaming of Zion.
I was not fat shaming. I was just impressive.
Is lift off the ground, push the floor in.
Yeah, I mean,
I see what he's saying.
I feel like he's trying to say he's bending the floor.
No.
I was impressed.
The force he exerted on the ground when he jumped.
But no, I read something. There was no pattern on that floor.
Really?
Yeah, no. I think it's just something, because I've seen courts do that where, if you're not, if you exert enough force when you're trying to go up, you can do that. But I think Zion Williamson is, when he comes back to New Orleans, if he comes back to New Orleans,
he's not coming back.
I think he is. This was the fact that he seems like one of them kids that is all about his rep, and he got that Magic Johnson type vibe where it's like, I don't want to look that bad in the media. That's why he came back. He could have just stayed in Portland and just took all that heat, but he decided to come back and face the music. And a lot of people are respecting him for that, because what I'm seeing a lot of Saints fans who not Saints fans, Saints and Pelicans fans, just Louisiana in general.
Yeah.
A lot of people who turn their back on him are slowly but coming back. They seen the dunks and they seen all the stuff. They're like, oh, he's back. He wants to try it.
Well, I'll say that he seems like a good kid, but if I'm just reading the situation, and we all have our own theories, I think he wants out of New Orleans. That's just me. I think his dream was playing with the Knicks. I think he was crushed, and you saw it during the broadcasted draft lottery.
Yeah, literally, and the draft says it all.
How depressed he was when the Pelicans got the first pick. So, I mean, that's a possibility. And then if you look at the Utah Jazz situation, their coach might move on. Donovan Mitchell might be available now.
He has said that he's been wanting to play for the Knicks,
and he's from here.
Yeah.
Now
his dad's in the Mets front office.
Yeah,
You know what's funny? The last two, I want to say not this year's draft picks, but the year before, Zion and LaMelo, both actually wanted to come to New York, but somehow the lottery balls did not it was not in our favors.
No, Adam Silver screwed us. What happened?
Instead of bing bong, we get screwed by the ping pong. That's what happened to us.
They should have done a little bit of a David Stern when they got Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing, man.
Okay.
Make it cold, and when you know you have it, boom.
They do that little you ever watch the lottery at night where it's like the little pop-up balls?
Yep.
That's kind of what it is.
That's actually what it is. They do that.
Yeah.
I was like, I looked at as soon as I seen New York was out the running on both those picks, I was like, this can't be life. This
can't be life.
What is happening?
I love RJ, but I love Ja a lot more.
I'm like, Broadway is something that we deserve. We deserve the big name, the big pick. And I'm like, the fact that we haven't had that since Patrick Ewing, it's just astonishing.
I know. I mean, if you ask me, the draft lottery is rigged, but we don't have enough time to go into my conspiracies.
No. Save that for tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Great call. But, yeah, Donovan Mitchell might be available, and the question is, what do you give up if he becomes available? Because I'm of the mindset that R.J. Barrett is untouchable. I'm not trading R.J. Barrett for anything, unless it's a generational type guy it's not going to happen, but
John Morant.
John Morant, then maybe you entertain it. But for Donovan Mitchell, Zion Williamson, I'm not trading R.J. Barrett for anybody.
Zion's not a generational guy for you?
He is, but again, you have to take into account the injury questions and everything else.
And the weight problems.
The weight problems, it's an interesting offseason that the Knicks have ahead of them.
He's the weirdest player I've ever seen, just of the fact that he's 6'5", and he's one of the most dominant.
He's not 6'5", he's taller.
No, he's 6'5", 6'6".
Zion? Really?
Zion?
Yeah.
That's like 6'8".
No, he's not.
Wow.
6'5", 6'6". He's like Charles Barkley.
Okay.
It's crazy how him and LaMelo, when they played against each other when they were little, LaMelo was really small. LaMelo and him are about the same height. LaMelo might be an inch taller.
Yeah, I mean Zion was looking like he was 20 from the time he was 11.
I always say this. Look, there's only one comparison.
Zion, did you ever see bench warmers and the guy has a birth certificate? It's in crayon IM12. That's Zion Williamson.
There was a video of him when he was in high school of him he was posting up the smaller kid, and he's like, back
what is he doing?
What is this?
Look,
who is this kid?
Zion's big. To me, I say the only true comp for Zion is prime Larry Johnson when he was in Charlotte.
Yeah,
I like that.
Grandmama Larry Johnson.
I like the Charles Barkley comp that Josh had. I like that one too.
I just feel as though if you really look at people forget about Larry Johnson. He was the number 1 overall pick, just like Zion. He was an explosive dunker, very undersized, play the power forward position.
Great Nick.
Great.
Yeah.
Zion could be.
I
I mean, just hope that the injury bug don't happen to him like Larry had.
Yeah.
regardless of who might be available for the Knicks, they have a lot of opportunity to still improve this roster. Like this season is a success. Well, okay,
Is it really?
Don't jump on me for saying this.
It's
but
more transitional.
yes,
Yes.
exactly. It's a success because RJ Barrett is the guy to build around. You can move off of Randall. Hopefully somebody takes him. If we have to give up assets to get rid of him, I think it's worth it. We'll see what happens. And then you're going to have a top 10 pick. And regardless of how the Knicks look, it's still New York. Even if the big main guys don't want to come here after, I'm like watching these Mac Jones highlights on the
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could spin it like that. I love the T.
Yeah. For those listening who don't know, we have a TV in here now, and
It's a
just
big
the greatest
upgrade.
thing ever. It's the greatest thing we've ever done.
It's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you saying, Josh, about the Knicks?
Oh yeah, they have a lot of opportunity. I mean, top 10 pick. Maybe you look at a Brunson. Maybe you look at trading for a Brogdon. You need a point guard.
Yeah.
You need to find a point guard, and you need to just inject some toughness into this roster. And now, unfortunately, y'all know how I feel about Tibbs. They're probably going to keep him. But like we saw last night, if you get players that play the right way, they're young, they have energy, and you take away some of Tibbs' handcuffs like Taj Gibson and Alec Burks.
And Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose can stay.
No, I'll give him a
but
pass.
I know what you
yeah.
mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
we need to.
He's one of the
focus on-
guys in the Tibbs club, like
The Tibbs,
Yeah.
the Tibbs Club. I love
Look,
that.
look.
It's exactly what it is.
You mean I call it the My Buddy program because they are my buddy. Wherever I go, they go.
Yeah, I mean Taj Gibson, Chicago, where Tibbs was, Minnesota, where Tibbs was, and now New York. Same thing
Same with Derrick Rose.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, if you take those handcuffs away from Tibbs, then maybe we can talk about
Look.
him being here next season.
Tibbs is the tree. The players are the fungus, and they follow him wherever he goes.
Just growing on Tibbs. That's great. Oh my goodness.
He every year he thinks that I could recreate that 2011 season.
Yeah, that's the problem. We saw it this season. He tried to recreate it, and we saw how it went.
Still stuck in the past.
The NBA's changed. It has.
Unfortunately.
The NBA has definitely changed. But enough of the NBA for today. I want to get to the NFL for a bit. First, let's remind everyone, in case you're tuning in right now, you are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Matt Leonard, Mauricio Mendoza, Kory David, Joshua Umahi here with you right now. Let's move over to the NFL. It's enough NBA talk for today. So, Tyreek Hill made headlines yesterday being traded by the Kansas City Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins for 5 draft picks. I want to know initial reactions. Who do you think won the trade? Tough, right? It's tough. It's close.
I'm going to say the Dolphins won the trade because they got the
Wow.
short thing. 5 draft picks is a lot for a star receiver, and he is a
For
star.
a receiver, period, that's a lot.
For a receiver, yes, but he's a star, and his impact on a game. I mean, we saw it in the last playoff game.
Do you know why
Second
this
last
makes
playoff
me
game.
angry, Josh?
What?
I'm sure you know why this makes me. I want to talk about this yesterday, but I wasn't here.
Okay.
This makes me furious. Tyreek Hill fetches 5 draft picks for him, right?
Okay.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yes, I know.
Why does Devontae Adams get 2?
Listen, you got to talk to your front office about that one. Like, I felt like y'all could have gotten a lot more. Now, a first-round pick and a second-round pick is a lot for a receiver, but it's the best receiver in the league. So
Yeah.
that you got to take it up with
Tyreek's what, like maybe 3rd, 4th?
I'll have him at 3rd.
Yeah, comfortable putting him at 3rd.
At this point,
He's not better than 3rd.
I'm saying that the Chiefs won.
I think why you make that trade is because, the reason why you do all the draft picks is because he's one of the most dominant weapons as far
It's
as
the speed.
his speed is something that you've never seen in this league as far as how he's able to transfer it from track speed to football speed. Now, for my honest opinion on who won this trade, I know I would say Kansas City just off the fact that I'm not paying a 30-year-old receiver that much money, and I know who lost this trade, Tyreek Hill. You will never, ever be the same again. I mean, you look, that one Super Bowl ring is all that you're gonna have because you're never getting a Super Bowl ring with Miami.
He may
wait,
leave
wait.
Miami. He only did it for 3 years.
At least he has a Super Bowl. Right.
And he has a Super Bowl ring.
He has that one. I'm like this. I would have stuck in KC just so the fact that I knew the potential of we're going to dominate the playoffs every year.
At least if you have just one ring, you're fine. Okay.
As an NFL player,
Yeah.
it's not like NBA where you need to be like.
You need to be like,
your legacy
Yeah.
is tied to how many championships.
I need 6 rings to be
You know
MJ.
who had that mentality? Jerry Rice. See, that's why
That's
these
true. Yeah.
these players these days, they don't have that mentality of, I want to leave a legacy. Do you know what Calvin Johnson would have given up just to have a chance to be one of those receivers that get multiple rings?
He retired halfway through his career, though. That's on him.
No, he didn't want to. He was trying to get to the Patriots, but the Detroit Lions weren't allowing it. That's why he's mad. He was mad at the fact that they allowed Stafford to just go, and he had to go through all this litigation just to try to get a trade, and he had to retire. Not the same thing, but it's close with Larry Fitzgerald, because I think he wanted to leave at a certain point to try to go.
I think he was more loyal than Calvin Johnson. Not that Calvin Johnson wasn't loyal. He stayed there his whole career, but I think Larry was different.
Larry just didn't read the tea leaves. He wanted to leave, but it's like a Kobe situation. It's like, it was too late. it was
Kobe didn't need to leave. He won 5 rings.
There was a point where he wanted to trade, where he wanted to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
But he thought about it. He stayed, and it worked out for him. Thing is, it didn't work out for Larry.
No.
You know, Kory, to your Tyreek Hill point, you said this now, and a lot of people were saying it yesterday that I saw. Like, you have to consider this. He won a championship, and he saw the big contract Devontae Adams got, 5 years, 141.
Yeah.
And he sees that, and he goes right to the Kansas City front office like, I might not be the best receiver in the game by everybody's opinion, but,
I'm still top 3.
I'm top 3. The production I put out on the field and the impact that I have on this offense is different. So you got to pay me. You got to pay me that after that.
Okay,
so.
But my problem is, and this is one of the things that's going to be a problem with the Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill is a wild card. People forget why he had that low contract. It's because he was coming off of a domestic abuse allegations, and Kansas City stuck through him through all that. That's why he actually got that contract. Now, it's just me, but loyalty does go a long way. We stuck with you when everybody critiqued Kansas City for making that actual move, for paying them. So I'm like, at this point, you do what you got to do to go get your money. But if you come back and you're not that same productive receiver in 3 to 4 years, I don't see that you getting another ring.
But Kory, too, I feel like you're underrating again what this Dolphins offense is going to look like with Tyreek Hill. Yes, I know we're not all the biggest fans of Tua, but look at the pieces around him. They signed Raheem Mostert from San Francisco. They get another running back. The name's escaping me, but they have...
what's his name from the Cardinals?
Chase Edmonds.
Yes.
They have Chase Edmonds, who's fast himself. Mike Gesicki, the tight end, runs a 4.5 40. A tight end. They have Hill. They have
He's Evan
Waddle.
Ingram that can catch.
Yeah.
I beg your
Devontae Parker is your third or fourth wide receiver, bro.
I beg your pardon. All I know is I've seen teams that had countless talent around them, and they still failed. Now, Tua better have the best season of his life, because if he doesn't, he's out of there.
I agree with you, but I'm actually a believer in Tua from this standpoint. They've surrounded him, and yes, the Dolphins are doing exactly what they should do and what they needed to do. They needed to find out exactly what you have in Tua, because they have 2 first-round picks next season, and you can clearly see we put talent around you. You have Tyreek Hill. We improved your offensive line. We signed Teron Armstead at left tackle. You're set up. So if you don't perform, we need to know if you're the guy after the season.
You talking about the guy that lost his job to Jacoby Brissett?
Well, he was hurt. This guy is still a top 5 pick at the quarterback position.
Look, no, I'm talking about he was healthy, and it took Jacoby Brissett to get injured for you to get back in the game.
I get that. He's even with the injuries. He started the season rough, but he ended the season well. Again, 3,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, 10 picks. It's
not bad for injury played year. That's not bad.
It's not what you want from a top 3 pick. No,
my guy,
but he was hurt. That's not bad.
All I know is, with Tua Tagovailoa, he's what we call the Dollar Tree version of Russell Wilson. He's not as good. He has he had the potential. I just think that too many injuries, and especially the fact that his ankles is brittle, I think that goes a long way as far as people consider him this season. I don't think that they're going to the playoffs. I still think the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the division.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm like, what are we doing here?
I mean, they're doing what they need to see what they have in Tua. Now, if you make the playoffs and the AFC is loaded, I'm not going to say they're going to they're secure for a top 7 seed. That's not what I'm going to say. But, if their season will be a success if they perform well, if they're in playoff contention, and if Tua plays better.
As long as they're not behind the Jets in the standings in that division, I think it's a success.
Yeah, and I watched it as a Saints
The Jets
fan.
got better, but the Jets are going to be 4th place now.
The Jets, too, they
got screwed with a Tyreek Hill trade. They almost had him.
I thought they had the better offer, too.
Yeah, I would have definitely. Cause I thought that their draft picks were in a better position for him to get it.
The NFL's weird.
That's why I thought, did Tyreek Hill have a no trade clause? During yesterday's show at the beginning, that's what we were trying to figure out. Why was it so up to Tyreek Hill? His choice on where he wanted to go.
And why would you choose the Dolphins?
It's interesting. I mean, it was obviously going to be who could offer him that contract that he wanted.
That's true. The Jets had the cap space to do it, though.
Yeah,
or are they willing to? Is the question.
I think they were, just off the fact that they were a finalist. But again, when you're up against Miami, no state income tax in Florida, and Miami's Miami now.
I said it on the morning show this morning. We talked about no state income tax in Florida. I said to them, listen, the income tax for living in Florida is the fact that you live in Florida.
Look,
That's a great point.
That's the tax. We live in Florida.
Now that we just talking about this, I just looked at something. It said Tyreek Hill on if choosing the Jets were an option. He said, "Who? The Jets? Nah, man. I knew I was always going to pick the Miami no matter what."
Okay, I saw the video. He literally said, "Who?"
Come on.
The disrespect of New York.
Zach Wilson's a good young quarterback. He's got a great arm like Mahomes. Not exactly, but he's got that strong arm. He's a similar guy to Mahomes.
Yes.
I would have gone to the Jets.
I don't know.
Tua does
dude.
not have the arm strength to throw 50 yards at Tyreek Hill.
But you know what? The Dolphins can use Tua and the speed that they have around him in a different way. I saw it with the New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees for 20 years.
The funniest thing about all this with Tyreek Hill getting traded, it just put a bullseye on DK Metcalf because I've seen I've seen both the Packers and Chief fans like, hey, go make the trade for DK, get him out of Seattle.
I would love that. I'd welcome that.
I like DK. Back then, y'all didn't want me. Now I'm hot. Y'all all on me. But now that everybody's getting traded, y'all want me now?
From that standpoint, too,
I mean, he ain't got a quarterback, but.
True, but
You got Drew Lock, or you could pick Aaron Rodgers. Come on.
From another standpoint, if you're Justin Jefferson or DK Metcalf or a young wide receiver who's a star and looking to get paid next, you saw what happened this past couple of days with Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill. You're like, come on now.
It's the same thing.
I'm gonna need that same treatment.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing Lamar Jackson is doing right now. He's seen that Deshaun Watson's getting paid, Aaron Rodgers getting paid. He's seen Russell's getting paid. He's like, I'm sitting back. I'm just gonna see what the final deal is gonna look like.
I honestly thought about, speaking of Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, that is, I was thinking about trade targets for the Packers. They need a wide receiver so badly.
Yeah.
What do you think of Hollywood Brown?
Surprisingly, somebody brought that up on Twitter. Somebody said maybe the Chiefs should go after Hollywood Brown, and he said, "Excuse my French, no way." He said F no way. But it's like it's like you see that after these receivers get traded, all the other receivers start becoming hot commodities as far as, okay, we need a piece. Because if you look at the Chiefs receiving core right now, it's in shambles. I'm being honest. Juju Smith-Schuster ain't that guy. The most that he could offer you is him and Jackson Mahomes doing some TikTok dances. Marquez Valdez
MVS.
I don't see. He was the third or second best receiver on the Packers, and he's getting.
I liked him as the second option because he was more of a deep threat than Lazard. But that's
he's getting paid. He's getting paid $30 million, I believe.
No, he's not. A year?
No, not $30 million.
Okay.
No, not $30 million.
Okay.
That's the total of the contract.
You scared me. I'm like, no way he makes more than Adams.
But the thing is,
no wonder the Packers did one back.
But the thing is, I just don't see that their receiving core being stacked like it once was. So I can see the need of trying to go out and go find another threat like that. Mm-hmm. I just right now I don't see it.
Hollywood Brown is a weird player. He's going to be due for some money too, but I don't know.
Not as much as the other guys.
Yeah, facts. But I don't know if it's just from the mindset of he needs a change of scenery or he's just not that good. But the Ravens have tried him for the number one receiving option for 3 years now. And
I don't think it's Lamar's fault.
It's not his fault.
I don't blame Lamar for that. I mean, because look at Rashad Bateman now. He's coming on.
Yeah, I just don't like what's his name, Greg Roman.
Yeah,
offense. I think it's just outdated. So
the Ravens' offense is so interesting. They have so much potential, yet it hasn't been working lately.
You know, we were talking about this yesterday, and we talk about the Browns getting Deshaun Watson and the Bengals that are defending AFC champions.
Oh, who's the best team in that division?
Yeah.
Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Michael wanted to ask that all week.
Yeah? Yeah. He says the Browns, but I'm like,
I am
watch
not
out
with
for
that.
the Ravens. Watch out for the Ravens.
No.
Why not?
You're not going with the Bengals?
I'm going with the Bengals.
Okay.
But the
They
Ravens
just
and
made it to
the
the Super Bowl.
I think the Ravens and the Browns are neck and neck. I don't think we should just vault the Browns ahead of the Ravens to, go to the wild card. I'll say that.
I mean, but okay, so let's look at Tyreek and his transfer to the Dolphins. Where do we see him and for the season? Do we see him?
What do you mean?
Do we see them like making it a little bit to the AFC?
JFC what? What do you... No, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Like how far would he take? How far would he take the Dolphins?
I feel like one receiver is not going to make them playoff contenders. It's good. It'll improve your team, but it's not going to...
What about like
their
division?
defense is in shambles. Like, it's not great.
Okay.
The AFC is wild right now. I mean, you have the teams in the AFC West who all can contend.
Oh, yeah.
They can
Especially
all win a
last
Super Bowl.
season.
Yeah, you have every team in the AFC North except the Steelers. So, because
We'll see how Trubisky pans out.
they'll have a winning record. I'll go on the record and say
Let's
that.
see how Trubisky pans
right.
out.
Yeah.
I
We'll go
believe
8-9
I know who's
wins.
going to win the AFC North.
Who?
It's going to be the Baltimore Ravens. Just with the
You're
fact
with
that
Lamar?
Yeah, just with the fact that people say, "Oh, but the Bengals had such a great season last year."
But
People
Lamar was injured.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yes.
even going on the fact that Lamar was injured. That whole team
That's
was
true.
injured.
Yeah.
3 to 2 running backs. You had two running backs who were supposed to be 3 running backs. You had Marcus Peters. You had
Marlon Humphrey.
Marlon Humphreys, who had his shoulder. I'm just like, you had that whole team decimated. Now you get that back. And the fact that you've seen, he's beaten Joe Burrow before. He's
Yes.
beaten Deshaun Watson before.
Yes.
He's beaten. Everybody's beating Mr. Trubisky.
Don't disrespect the MVP.
The MVP.
Of what? No,
the
UNC?
MVP. The MVP. Remember that, the Nickelodeon game?
MVP.
He was the Nickelodeon most valuable player. That's what that is.
You want to know why? I say I envy him. So it's how he was able to become the first overall pick.
He was second.
Second overall pick of doing nothing at UNC. He finessed the league. He like Matt Flynn.
Who was the Bears GM that did that?
I don't know.
You took him over Watson and Mahomes. Yeah. Trubisky.
Yeah.
Never gonna
The
do.
Mahomes one amazes me because he was getting so much hype in that draft.
Yeah.
And he's going to be the next big thing. And he was, and the Chiefs got him.
The Chiefs got him, and they sat him for a year
Look,
because
they
they had
saw
Alex
the-
Smith.
That's crazy.
They saw the vision.
Yeah.
They
I
really saw the
mean,
vision.
the only
A
other
lot of teams did, the Bears didn't.
only other quarterback that is kind of be getting some news worthy outside of Lamar Jackson in this contract because he's his own agent. So that people forget he's his own agent. So
I don't like that.
it's weird, but sometimes it works out. Like I feel like Richard Sherman, he negotiated a good deal for himself, but.
He's just a crazy person.
You seen these reports of what's his name trying to make a comeback? Kaepernick.
Yeah, he wants to
Kaepernick.
work out for the Seahawks. I don't want to get Kaepernick.
Why does it seem like every other year he tries? I'm like, bro, it's over.
It's done. It's done.
Look,
He's not getting younger. That's the issue I have.
The only problem I have with that, only thing I say about that is the fact that the only person who gives him a shot, I think they'll come back, is the fact that Cam Newton's still in this league. And I'm like, Cam Newton has been past his prime. I actually think he might be the starting quarterback for Carolina next year.
Cam?
Either him or they might go get Malik Willis.
Oh, I love Malik Willis.
Because the one thing out of all these moves, one thing I was wondering was, what is Carolina going to do?
Baker Mayfield. That's my prediction.
They're gonna do
I'm serious.
last place. That's what they're
I'm
gonna
serious. Baker Mayfield. That's what's gonna happen.
I'm not mad at that.
What about Atlanta?
Atlanta's got Mariota.
Yes, sir.
I know you just didn't say that.
They have Mariota.
Mariota's the starting quarterback?
Yes.
Kory, don't disrespect Marcus Mariota now. That's my guy. The Falcons are going to suck, but he's going to play well.
He'll be fine. They're going to be terrible. They don't have Calvin Ridley either, so that's going to be
This
bad.
man was literally, what was he playing? I want to say he was scat back or whatever, whenever they needed a run play last
The
year.
Raiders were using him in the gadget role.
Like Taysom Hill.
He's not a starting quarterback in this league.
You have to remember,
He is
though,
now.
the Falcons head coach, Arthur Smith, was his old offensive coordinator in
He
Tennessee.
lost the job to Ryan Tannehill, who isn't a quarterback. I'm done.
What is he?
Who?
Ryan Tannehill.
That's the thing. How do you lose a quarterback? How do you lose a quarterback competition to a guy who we don't even believe is a quarterback?
Ryan Tannehill is not a quarterback. He's a football dispenser for Derrick Henry. That's what he is.
Exactly. And you lost that job? How?
Wow. How Matt just described Ryan Tannehill. The first time I've heard that, but it's the perfect.
Just like it's perfect. Like,
Look,
perfect.
If it's not a play action.
Oh, would you look at that? Denver's on fire.
Denver's on fire.
The Denver Broncos Stadium's on fire.
Damn, I know you're excited about Russell Wilson, but
He's unlimited.
oh my god,
I can't stand that.
For as good as he is on the field, he's so cringe off the field. He's so corny.
We call that corny.
He really is.
I love Russell Wilson on the field. Every time at the NFL honors or anything I hear him talk, I'm just like, please stop talking.
You know, I can't even be mad because he did wife Sierra, so he's doing something right. That's all I'll say.
Yep. You have any final thoughts, guys, before we wrap up today?
So March Madness resumes today.
Tonight.
And I'm just looking at these games. You want me to like rattle off some picks?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll go with Gonzaga over Arkansas.
I have Arkansas.
Villanova for sure over Michigan.
I don't know about that either.
Texas Tech smacks Duke.
That is true.
They smack Duke.
I'm with you there.
Houston beats Arizona.
Yes.
Then tomorrow you're going to have Purdue over St. Peter's. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sad.
I'm sorry, St. Peter's.
I'm high on Purdue. I have Purdue one of the Final Four.
Ivy's taking you down. Then I'll round it out with Kansas, UCLA, and Miami and Florida.
Who's UCLA playing?
UCLA's playing North Carolina.
Ooh, that's a good game.
It'll be a great game.
Because North Carolina is, I think they're seated a little low. They're a good team.
Yeah,
they're a good team.
They're gonna give them a run for their money, but I think UCLA comes.
Yeah,
up.
Corey, final thoughts. Anything? Nothing.
The Knicks gotta win. That's it. That's all.
Why?
That's all I'm happy.
They play Miami on tomorrow. So
that's all I'm happy about.
As you all know, for soccer news, it's the World Cup qualifiers today.
Yes.
In the European side, we have right now 2-0. They just scored a goal. Portugal against Turkey, and also Italia is playing against North Macedonia.
Okay.
And at 10 p.m., it will be the United States going up against their bitter rivals, Mexico, for the position for second place, because in reality, Canada's already in first. So,
Mauricio, quick soccer question for you.
Yeah.
Is NYCFC going back-to-back? Give it to me. Come on.
It's very...
Just say yes.
I want to say yes,
Yes.
but MLS is very unpredictable.
Okay.
True.
Because if you are a champion, it's almost like it's never really been like a dynasty in MLS.
Right.
That's the thing. Besides DC United, like back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But yeah, heavy shot, but I want them to go back-to-back. Yes.
Which one of you tell us what we got up next? What's coming up next?
Don't forget to stay tuned and listen to Bafrumi Italia.
There you go, Corey.
Look, they didn't think I can do it, you know. I'm taking Spanish classes right now.
That's not Spanish.
No.
It's Italian.
I'm just saying, you seen I'm bilingual right now. I'm on my bilingual
Well, like
mode.
I speak
Corey.
Spanish, so I can say like a little bit.
Give me this one more time. What's up next, Corey?
Why you do?
All right,
One more time.
I got you,
You're
Corey.
Mauricio.
Profume Italia.
That's right. Stay tuned. We got some great things up next. For Mauricio Mendoza, Kory David, Joshua Umahi, I am Matt Leonard saying thank you for listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.